certainly, because one man or 2 or 20 lakh men is all it takes to define an entire freaking gender.
Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, this poem I'm on the fence about reacting to because it can either be a poem sympathizing with the struggles of men, or it can be calling men out on stuff they do that is negative for society. So I'm trying to figure out what this is exactly. And there's a place for both, don't get me wrong, but I really want to react to a poem sympathizing with men's plight. All right. I haven't done anything like that on the channel before. Most of my fan base is male, like a vast majority. And this isn't me necessarily pandering, but just giving something to y'all that you can definitely relate to, you know? Anyway, so this is called What Society Says to Men by Helly Shah. I've been seeing this thumbnail on YouTube for the longest. And so it's about time I react to this specific poem, assuming, like I said, it's sympathizing with men's plight. So without further ado, let's get started.
As a woman, when I first stepped out on the streets with the ability to understand what the society's gestures, expressions, and underlying tones meant, I realized, man, being a woman is a difficult thing. Go back a few words. Man. Men must have it so easy. That's what I thought. That's what I thought for the longest time, with the shackles of misogyny, patriarchy, chauvinism, and 10 other jargons we never really deemed important to look up the meaning for. Agreeing to the commonly misinformed, I always thought that men were born with a sense of entitlement in this world. Until now. Until this. 5 things we hear growing up. 5 things society says to men who try to grow up. 1. Men don't cry. Because women have monopoly over the tears. Because emotions are just another cover-up for weakness. Well, guess what? When Kevin failed in 5th grade, he didn't cry. When Kevin's mother left him, he didn't cry. When Kevin's girlfriend died, he didn't cry. When Kevin committed suicide, he wondered who would cry. 2. All men are dogs. They are animals. Praying, looking for their next target, the next woman to lie, cheat, harass, or betray. Well, certainly, because one man or 2 or 20 lakh men is all it takes to define an entire freaking gender.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. What else needs to be said? What else needs to be said? Because I'm telling you, am I saying we're perfect? No, not by any stretch of the means. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's not the way people be making it out to be. Trust me, there's a lot of guys who just really be trying their best, and that's just not acknowledged, you know?
1 or 2 or 20 lakh men is all it takes to define an entire freaking gender. Because the loyalty, faithfulness, and everything wonderful that a man's best friend is shoved under the carpet because that one dog couldn't stop humping. 3. Be a man, said the father who was never there. Said the alcoholic uncle who couldn't stop staring at the blouse of his neighbor's daughter. Be a man. What an ideal to set for a 13-year-old boy who is shaving his non-existent mustache, who's experimenting with the protruding parts of his body, who is so awkward being around the members of the opposite sex, who is struggling to be a teenager in the first place. 4. Real men finish last. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Your ability to stop your ability from doing its job. So hold it. Hold it tight. Masculinity is a word. Humanity is another. So are love, care, and compassion. So maybe if you, dear society, get over what the first one means to you, you'll see what the next few mean to the rest of us. 5.
Okay, before she explains the 5th one, I'll say this much. When it comes to the men not being allowed to cry and, you know, women having a monopoly on the tears, I do think men should cry if they feel the need to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have emotions too. With that being said, I do also think men should have a sort of resilience that they build up over time to be tough and strong. Still, if you feel the need to cry, then cry. But to live life in such a way and have such a temperament that the need to cry doesn't come up much, if at all. You know what I'm saying? And now some people will call that toxic masculinity. No, I just call that stoicism. All right, I've spoken about stoicism on a few occasions on this channel. I have a whole video coming out about a poem that teaches stoicism to its core and how that can help in developing one's masculinity. But with that being said, what she was saying about, men being shamed for crying, straight facts. And then also, like real men finish last. I don't know how like family friendly it is for me to go into detail about that. But I will say this, if you're a husband, for example, and, you're trying to please your wife, you should make sure that she gets her own as well. I'll leave it at that. But that doesn't mean he necessarily has to finish last. He just needs to make sure that she finishes as well. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's keep going.
5. Men will be men. I say they should be. A man should be a man when he sheds his first tear, when he cries his eyes out. A man should be a man and not a dog or a pig or any other animal you could possibly generalize. A man should be a man when his father comes home drunk and raises his hand. A man should be a man when his daughter brings home a boy. A man should be a man when he's in bed with the woman he loves, cherishes, and appreciates. A man should be a man. And before everything else, a man is a human too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not here trying to change any definitions. This is me trying to fix the misconceptions, not for them, the society, but for me. So the day that I bring home a boy, my father shakes his hand and does not ask for the balance in his bank or what his father does for a living. This one is for all the young girls pretending they have no male friends because their fathers cannot stand the idea that his daughter is safe with them and from them. This one is for all the young men becoming predators, forgetting that they were victims first, victims of society's norms from the moment they were born. So don't get me wrong. This is not a debate about feminism or a million other isms. This is about unlearning years of conditioning and apathy, and instead learning about kindness and empathy. We need to liberate our souls from what it is to be a he or a she, and see what it is to be you and me. So this time, let's make it about humanity.
Yo, okay, no wonder this blew up. I'm saying this specifically because I've never seen a poem covering this topic before. Never. Like, when I say never, I literally mean never in my life. I planned to put out a poem like this on International Men's Day. I don't know if I'll still do it. We'll see. I have to tread softly around it simply because it's one thing for a woman to say what she's saying about men, but if a man says it, it can be interpreted very poorly, even if I'm saying like similar things, okay? That's just the way things are right now. With that being said, I loved this, and this doesn't make her any less for women when she's talking about the plights that men have. I don't know where this comes from that if you're for women being treated well in society, you can't also be for men in helping them overcome certain plights that they face as well. Like it doesn't have to be exclusive like that, Man, she was spitting straight up facts. Men should be men, and that's okay. That shouldn't be frowned upon. It should not be. But yeah, this is a much needed message because I'm gonna say this right now. For like many years of my life, I really struggled with my identity as a man for the simple fact that society kept pushing into my face that men are pigs, men are trash, men ain't ish, all this crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it brought up a lot of self-hate in me that really hindered my growth as an individual, as a human being. You see what I'm saying? And it was until I started like deconditioning myself, like she was saying, and realize what it means for me to be a man, that I really started to grow a lot and make progress in all areas of my life, if I'm being honest. Like even my fitness, So yeah, I really appreciate messages like this. Helly Shah, if you ever watch this, thank you. Thank you. Like, thank you. We need more people like this coming out and talking about, the plights of others that might not apply to them, So, all right. I hope y'all enjoyed. I plan to do more reactions like this. And if there's other poems from Helly Shah that you want me to react to, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe. When I get to 15,000 subscribers, I'm doing a Q&A so that y'all can get to know me better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna see y'all soon. Deuces.